That's very obvious.
Yeah.
There's no way the child can be violated and you see after 2 days. That's impossible.
That's impossible.
That's impossible. I mean,
Violated to the extent, violated to the extent that she alleges that child was violated. And then you just sit with the child in the house and there's no problem. You just sit with the child in the house and there's no problem. No, man. No, man. Nah, guys, I'm still asking for anyone to come and help me to find this nanny. Maybe someone heard something that I did not hear.
But besides the nanny, shouldn't the stepfather who was part of this household, why isn't he speaking? I mean, this was a household that he resides at. He's the father figure.
Apparently, she says no, he's an infidel. And she even said, he even told this commission to tell us that he will never speak. He will never speak. She told us, or I don't remember which platform it was where she said, he will never speak. Oh yeah, it was in this other guy's life. He's a rainbow guy. I don't know his name, what it was, but it was like the life that she was in before she joined our life. Like she was in that life in the morning, and then she joined our life later that same day, right? Where she came and unraveled here.
So in other words, the husband has been told, shut the fuck up. The nanny, we can't find her, and most likely even if we do, probably the same instruction has been given.
But okay, fine. But how to place the nanny somewhere in this house? Like, can you please, Bongani, before we even say that the nanny maybe has been given an instruction to shut the fuck up, can you place her somewhere in the house? Why are you needing to carry 2 children with you to the doctor? Why do you guys need to take a day off from work if one of the children are sick? If you have a nanny, why are you doing the laundry yourself and then finding these bloody tracksuits? If you have a nanny, why isn't the nanny doing this laundry herself? Why is the child going through that all alone at night, but she's sleeping with the nanny? Why do you find such a horrific finding on a child, and then you wake up in the morning and then you find this, but you don't ask the nanny what happened to this child at night? Because that should be your first thought, or I'm sure this child did not sleep like this. The first person you're going to want to ask should be the same nanny that you claim she slept with. Like, why are you not asking the nanny?
So you're thinking there's no nanny?
I'm thinking there's no nanny. Why is this nanny just not showing up anyway? Why are you doing the laundry by yourself? Why are you waking up at 4 a.m. to cook?
That's
even when they say that it's because no, the child is sick, so you don't want the child to struggle. But can you give me the rest of this nanny? Can you give me the rest of where this bloody nanny is? Why are you doing the laundry? Because she says a few days later, I was doing the laundry, then I found the bloody tracksuit. Why is the nanny not doing this laundry?
Coco.
I'm Fundis.
Hi, Coco. No, it's Rotunda.
Yeah.
Yes.
How are you?
No, I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm okay.
There's just a few things that I think Abantu need clarity on, just to bring people onto the fact that there is no one who is against Cwecwe's mother, or there is no one who is being insensitive because we have children. Exactly. Now, one thing that we need to be clarified on, the first one, how sure are they? When did the incident happen? When they only found out 2 days after? How do they know when the incident happened? Now, if my daughter comes home and I only find out on Wednesday, how will I be sure that this thing happened on Tuesday? How?
Or on Monday?
Oh, no, it happened on Monday because I only find out. How sure are they?
Rotanda, that's a very, very good question. Why
The
do you
second
think
one.
yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
The second one. Now we know abantwanas we raise our children on our own. We become doctors in a way. If a child is saying I'm constipated, why would you, as a mother who has been raising this child for the past 7 years, you know what to give? We self-diagnose our children. Why would you give a constipated child anti-diarrheal medication?
Very good, Rotanda, man.
Number three.
love this.
Number three. The third question that we need to be asking ourselves as a nation. Now, there is a new, okay, that one I think Ukoko will better explain it because I've seen on your other posts. But now, the mother is an investigating officer herself.
Yes.
She's a policeman. She works for the security cluster. Now, why does she come out and be strong that the principal is a suspect when the police had told her that the principal is not even a person of interest in this? Now, the child, according to her, was sent by the caretaker to go and sweep the classroom, not by the principal. Now, if we're going to use race, because anything that's to do with racism in South Africa, it excites everybody. Now that's where I see a very calculated move to put a person in the center of this, be a white person, so that you hype everybody's emotions. Because that's what it did to the nation. The minute a white person was mentioned, everybody, we lost our ability to think this thing through. The second last thing, now we come to the doctor's report. I'm a layman. Now the doctor is saying the anus of the child is intact, but the mother was saying when she looked at the child, it was open, like, you know that when the toilet paper is finished, that's how big the anus was. Now here is a medical professional saying the anus is intact.
It's intact.
Rotanda,
Yes,
can I
and
ask you
now-
a question on that one? Yeah? Can I ask you a question? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's agree with the statement about it. The anus was open like that size of a toilet paper roll, right? Do you see that big? Do you see that size of a toilet paper roll? Is there any? Okay, maybe there is a size of a man of that size, right? Let's agree, right?
No, but my brother.
Wait for my question. So
Okay.
if we take that size of a toilet paper roll, it means that the man who penetrated must have a size that is bigger than a toilet paper roll, right? So if that was the size that was used to penetrate, do you think the child would walk?
No, I wouldn't speak on that. I'm speaking on what the mother has put out there.
Yes, I agree with you. I need to, yes,
I'm
I'm
a
saying,
person who likes to follow logic. Now, the mother
Yes, wait, Rotanda. Listen to my logic. Listen to my logic. Yeah, listen to
Can
my
I
logic.
speak and finish? Can I first speak and finish, Bongani?
Yeah, he's agreeing with you,
I
Bongani.
agree with you, but
Yes.
listen to me. Let's just say we agree with the mother of that was the size, right? So is there any way a child can be penetrated with that big size and still walk?
And
That's
still
my
walk.
question.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm reading what is out there and was put by the mother. And
But according to your knowledge, can the child walk if he was penetrated by that size?
I'm not going to respond on that. I'm coming with my own way, how I see things. I will still stick to what the mother has put out there. And I say the medical doctor who examined the child said the anus is intact. Siyanephi komkhulu, what do we take to the court of law, to the public courts?
Wait, guys, wait, Coco, wait. Before we put that out there, we don't have the doctor's version. Even
No,
that,
we do have. We
no,
do
we
have.
don't.
It is posted by Cwecwe's mother on her page.
That's not a full certificate.
That's where I'm coming to, Kaloku, but when you are cutting me off, that's where I'm coming to. That is not a full thing. That is why South Africans are confused by that A1, where the doctor is saying, with what
But we
I
can't
have
say a
found,
doctor. We can't say a doctor. We can say Umaga Cwecwe claims. But to say it's a doctor, it means we've seen the doctor's name on that piece of paper, and there's no doctor's name.
I agree with you on that one. But what I'm saying is, now people are coming here that is saying the doctor confirmed that there was rape. There was no confirmation purchased by his blood. That note that is placed by Umaga Cwecwe on her page, it states A1. Which means that somebody must rule out a sexual assault. The doctor didn't say it is a sexual assault. But wonke umuntu is emotional. Our emotional has been jacked up. And the last thing, and I'm going to leave, I'm going to step down from the panel. The cutting off of the pens. Now, she is working and the husband for SAPS. How does forensic or pathologist eliminate evidence from a bigger, because they need only a small part? Obviously, the part that was cut, it was cut so that it can be tested. It is there even on Google how they do these things. But she just comes and put in a statement out there, and then people, they just run amok and they fight on her post. Others are for her, and she is confusing everybody. There is a certain way how pathologists will take out evidence from pens or from dresses or from whatever. They can't take the whole thing to the lab to go and test. They will only take the area that they are interested in and cut it out. And she knows about that. Well, I'm so exhausted with this whole thing. But those are the questions that I had and my own observations. But let's hope that the truth will come out. Thank you very much for giving me a platform.
Rotanda, I agree with what you say, and I agree.
Rotanda.
Okay. My question still stands, Yvonne. Maybe you didn't understand my question, Rotanda. I agree with you when you say 2 days is delusional and it's a fallacy in this sense that if that was the big size that was used, then you claim that the child couldn't walk. Then why did you see the child was unwell after 2 days? Yeah, one of what I in the sense.
Rotanda is gone.
Oh, she's gone. Yeah.
I was trying to tell her, I was asking who told, who came with this old story that where this thing happened, right? I was trying to tell her that the child told the father. Then the father told the mother that this thing, she suspects that it happened at school because of they called in the class and say they must, at school, and say they must clean the class. That is where it comes to the point of this is why they say this thing happened at school. So the question is, does it make sense? It still need to be researched, to be, what is this word? Investigated, which how? But the minute, even in this TikTok, when you were just coming with that, people, they come and attack you, because of it's not happened to your child. No, I just want to understand before I take an action. But now, instead of being understood by the people attack you. Then how can you support if you just support the thing that you don't even understand it yourself? Then you stand up on the street. And yet we are asking because we want to understand, so that when we go to the street, we go with the thing that we know it very well, that no, we ask this question. I want to come this case of the nanny. Do you know once Toto's mother told the court that there is a nanny?
Can we give it to this lady now?
Yeah, can I just finish? I just finished now. The mother say the children has the nanny. You do know that the court will want the nanny on the floor from the beginning to the end. They will want the nanny to ask the question. Yeah, thank you, Kelelen.
Okay. Bongani, we have Sadie. Sadie, hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you guys?
We are okay.
Sorry?
We are fine
We're
here.
good, thank you.
Thanks for asking. Yeah, we see your
I just need
comments
to
there.
say my
You're saying,
truth.
wait, you're saying that elaborate on that note, please.
Thing is, I'm mad that you guys are discussing this case. Every time you guys just don't feel very sure about this case, you guys go on a live and discuss this case. First of all, guys, you guys are not detectives. You guys are definitely not lawyers. Okwesibini, guys, you guys should go listen to your podcast. Cwecwe released. Disathetha, Coco. Disathetha. You should go listen to that podcast. It was released by Cwecwe. Nimamele kakuhle ba uthini, because ngoku niyenza ngathi Cwecwe she just decided by okay, we're gonna accuse principal Qala. No, Cwecwe just wanted to follow kakuhle ba okay all the places where that Cwecwe was maybe during that time. Let's start esikolweni, right? She went to the principal with the hopes but no principal uzomnceda, with the hopes but principal uzoyenza internal investigation, which the principal did not want to give her.
Fine, steady wait.
Which made Mamela. No, listen, let me finish.
I have a question.
No, let me finish.
You're not
finish.
We're not going
to ask you a question. You're not here to tell us what
guys,
platform.
let me
We have a
finish.
question.
The principal did not
We
want to
have a
help
question
Cwecwe's
to
mom.
you. We have a
Hence
question.
why she accused him. Hence why not.
Come on, we have to ask you a question, okay? Please behave. Please behave. This is not where you just come and you talk the way you want. This is, we ask you questions. Question number 1. Between the police and the principal, who is supposed to do investigations? Sadie?
Thank you. Hey, this is the question I was want to ask. Thank you.
Sadie, between the
But
principal
Nana,
and
the
the police,
principal was
who
also-
is supposed? Which part of the
Keshab,
road?
Naniva, the police.
Yeah.
Sharp.
So why? Fine,
But
you
also
said the
the
police.
school,
Now, so
no.
why now are you accusing the principal for not doing interior or internal investigation?
We did not accuse the principal, but guys,
You
but
just
this
said
is
you were
literally like
supposed
even public
to.
knowledge. Ukubana, even if your child is being bullied esikolweni, the principal would do their own internal investigation. So why didn't
would
principal
he
also
do
do his own internal investigation to help Cwecwe?
Is bullying a crime?
Wait.
Is bullying a crime? Punishable
Hey,
by
didn't you know?
prosecution.
It's a crime.
Punishable by
crime.
prosecution. How do you prosecute a 10-year-old in school?
Hi guys, Kanimeli, Aninameli, Aninameli,
Can you prosecute a 7-year-old?
Aninameli. To obviously
No,
doesn't happen.
it's a yes or no. It's a yes or no.
Uzothethwa nomntana, but still, dimameleni guys. The principal could have also done his own internal investigation so that he can rule his school out.
No, you just said
Then
he's not allowed. No, you just said that the principal is not allowed to do investigation. Please leave that one out because you agreed with us that the principal is the principal. Police do investigation.
Guys, I said the
That
police
one
can do the investigation, right? Sharp, but also the school can do their own internal investigation. If you guys can just listen to me there, the school can do its
You
own
can't do
internal
investigation by a case that has been held by the
to
police. You
rule
can't because you'll be
out
interfering with.
isikolo.
You will be interfering with
They
the
did their own internal investigation.
exact.
Guys, kule live discussion. Are you guys coming together so that you guys can have one agreement? Okay, because now I'm trying to stand up for
No,
Roma.
they don't. They are just shouting on the basis that they can remove people.
I'm not shouting.
No, you're not shouting. You're not shouting. Said you are on point. You are not shouting. The people who are shouting is the host and Coco. Wena, you are very right, because you are trying to put okay. You are just proving me right. That you are just proving me right.
It's not even your turn.
Said he's trying to
said,
We'll
Mina,
give
I
you
want
a chance to
Mina, I want
talk.
to Mina, I want to explain you this, man. In the great case and the case where the people is unalived, do you know that case are the very sensitive case? You go straight to the police station about those cases. You don't go anywhere to ask anyone to investigate. Right? So you cannot just go to school if you suspect that it's a school and say, principal, can you just check who is that? No, you don't do that in those cases. These are the very serious cases and the sensitive. Even if you can find a child who's great or when you you go straight to the police. You don't go to anyone. And that case is investigated by the only police. A law person, not a teacher. A teacher is only a teacher. He has nothing to do with she can't investigate anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me say something.
Also, just before just a question.
Let her speak.
Skadia, no, don't do that.
Don't tell me Skadia, because
all right.
Because mother knows this very well because she's a police.
Mara guys.
No, wait. Okay, I just want to ask you a question. If you are a person who now you are starting to suspect the principal, let's say now this is a situation where your mind is starting to tell you, or this principal or this school, something is not right here. Ne? And the principal might be actually hiding something, even if it's not him. How can you ask or expect that very same person to investigate themselves?
Which tells me that you guys did not listen to that podcast. Cwecwe, guys, even the police station before the principal was even accused. Before the principal was even accused. Please listen to me, Coco. If you listen to that podcast, Cwecwe did not immediately accuse the principal. No. Cwecwe, even she didn't remember what happened, right? Sharp. Because she just cried by the mama, the emzans. And then what sharp and then they saw okay, her hole is big. They took her to the GP. Okay. They took her to the GP. And then they got a note from the GP that hey, mntanakho, there's some penetration going on. Which Cwecwe was like, because Cwecwe did not even think ban umntanakhe urechiwe. She did not.
Why are you lying? Why are you lying?
Go to the podcast. Go listen to that.
Coco, wait.
Let me ask this question again. You said the principal, or maybe Mama Cwecwe was starting to think that let me check the school where the child was, because now we're starting to want to check wherever the child was. This is you thinking now as a person, trying to figure out what might have happened. If you think something might have happened at the school, how can you ask the very same school to investigate themselves and then tell you, yes, this happened here at the school? How do you reason a person or an institution will come and out itself for wrongdoing? You are supposed to be taking this to the police to say, police, I think this might have happened at the school. Exactly. Can you please go and check at the school? This is the facts I know. This is what I know. This is what happened on Monday. Why are you pushing for this internal investigation as if this school is supposed to tell you, or this principal? It's like you're expecting this principal to come back and say to you, yes, I'm the one who raped the child. I remember now. Like, does it make sense?
No, guys. If Mamela, please, Gogo, I'm giving you your chance to speak. Please let me speak. Let me finish.
It's my chance to speak. It's forever my chance to speak.
Sure.
Just answer.
Okay, I have a question to Leslie. Leslie, I have a question to you. Ne?
Can the host please like mute the others?
Yeah, I'm asking you a question. I want you to answer the question.
Okay.
I need to say
okay.
Yes. Do you think the principal was supposed to give DNA or not?
Yes.
On what basis?
On what basis? Just to remove yourself from the case, Kaloku. The reason Cwecwe even vouched for that is because the principal did not want to help her.
Thank you.
Guys.
So, thank you. So, do you know?
Okwesibili,
Fine,
no,
thank you.
Mamelani, the reason
No,
why
there is
even
another
went to
question.
esikolweni.
There is
No,
another
listen.
question, Akira. Wait,
Listen,
don't tell me to
Cwecwe,
listen. I'm the host. Don't tell me to listen to you. I'm asking you questions. Please behave, okay? You said you believe that the principal was supposed to give the DNA, and we asked you on what basis, and you said just to clear yourself. So another question is, do you know what is DNA? Can you tell us what does the word DNA stand for? Please go ahead, Lesedi.
Ndithetha ne-host ngoku.
Yes, you're talking to the host. What is the meaning of DNA?
Before ndianzerishe loo nto, healthy communication, please, guys, please. Because as
Answer my
much as I'm
question.
trying
Answer
to
my
speak,
question. Stop going around.
no,
What
before
is
I
the
answer your
meaning of
question, as much
DNA?
as I'm trying to speak, you guys don't want to listen to me, but you guys want me to listen to you and answer your questions, which I'm willing
Okay.
to
You
do.
answer my question. What is the meaning of DNA?
She doesn't know the answer, that's why.
Doesn't know the answer. Why? If I can pendulate answer your DNA, guys.
What is the
Because
meaning of DNA?
how do you guys want me to listen to you guys?
Coco,
But you guys don't want to
let's
listen
give
to
a
me
chance.
when I try
Okay,
to
give
defend
us
Cwecwe.
fine. Give us the definition of a DNA. What is DNA?
Wena undinike lo definition because cacile wena uyayazi.
I want to know from you what is
Kenyani,
DNA.
what is the relevance of it kule nto nithethayo?
You're about to find out what is the relevance.
What
you're
is the
about to find out.
relevance? Because you guys do not want to listen. If you guys can just listen.
So your interview is just gonna end here because you don't know what is DNA. So if you don't know what is DNA, then you don't have a chance to. Yes, thank you so much.
I wanted to ask her actually a simple question.
No, it's not worth it, Cook. It's not worth it because
not
she
even
doesn't know what is
I-
DNA, but she's telling us
Mama,
about
we have that
the principal must give it the DNA. Yeah, one of the land too. That's where most people get it wrong. If you don't know what is DNA, then don't talk about DNA because you clearly are useless. You are knowledgeless. You are stupid as well because you don't know what you're thinking about. Yeah, let's give it to others. Zain, my brother, how are you?
Nah, I'm good, and you?
I'm alright, my brother. Do you have any pushback on what we are saying? The topic is there. What have you learned on this case, my brother?
No, man, I've learned a lot of things about. Now, in fact, I've already learned something about when it comes to our society as Black people. But the Cwecwe case have proven that what I've been thinking and I've been observing is true that as Black people, we just jump into things with emotions. We don't think clearly. When, in fact, if Coco can say that I've raped her, and everyone, each and every woman in this life of yours can just jump and say, yes, it's true, without any evidence that I've raped Coco. So you see, what we are suffering from now recently is that I don't know how to put it in English. It's like hearing a story that this thing is like this, and everyone is angry. But because we have invested our anger in that story which Coco have said that I've raped her, when the truth comes out, we can't go back to the actual fact that, hey, let's review what Coco said. That maybe Coco told lies because everyone, when a woman says a Black man, in fact, have done this, we can't go back and say you must keep on hating on that person because certain thing happened, and then Coco said this thing had happened. I think here we are dealing with a race issue whereby we are very angry as Black people that a white person was accused of raping a child, which is
please use the word grape, Zain. Please use the word grape.
Grape, udlwengula ke. that now we can't go back and review, because now you see what makes people angry in this panel is that Coco is asking, and you yourself, we are asking relevant questions. But these questions which you guys are asking are very sensitive to the fact that there's a child involved here. Now, my question, which I ask people, is this: what is what is Cwecwe's mother going to gain out of this? And then people say, no, maybe this happened, but the fact that the doctors are saying they can't conclude on the fact that the child was raped. It doesn't mean that the child was not raped by this principle. My thing is, I feel for stepfathers, because the first person who was tested is the stepfather. For those guys who are stepfathers, they must learn a lesson to this thing, because it doesn't matter if Coco came into the marriage.
Zayn, I have a question to you too. I've got a question. You say that the stepfather was tested, right? Meaning that this DNA was taken. Do you know? Do you know how DNA works?
I'm not sure, bruh, to be honest with you, but I can just give you, because they take.
So you don't know how DNA works, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not well advanced when it comes to the DNA. I know for a fact there's plus, there's negative, there's things which have been taken which they check if they match.
Let me educate you on DNA, right? Let me educate you on DNA, right? Let's just say you suspect that one of your child is not yours, right?
Yes.
What are you going to do?
DNA.
You go and take your child to Lancet laboratories, and then they do DNA, right? So meaning that they're going to compare two DNAs, yours and
the child.
Yeah. So between the two, which one is going to be the primary DNA? Yours will be the primary DNA, which will be the child will be compared against yours, right?
Yes.
Then that's how it is done. Then they will compare the two, and if they are related, then it will be 99.9%.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
99.999%.
Yes. So if you don't have a child, or maybe your child is refusing to do it, the DNA, can you do the DNA test?
No, I can't.
Because there is no another DNA to compare it to, right?
Exactly.
So, according to the police, there was no foreign DNA that was found on Cwecwe, meaning that they couldn't retrieve any form of DNA on her body, on her clothes, anywhere, even inside her. There was no sign of a DNA that belongs to another man, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So, why would they take the DNA of her stepfather?
You see that question, that is the same question which I said, when you ask such questions, which it's very clear the way you're explaining it, but as a parent or a person who's using feelings to think, I would attack you and say you're unreasonable, and I would use those words where I want to manipulate you and say, I wish one day you can have a daughter, and then I wish they can rape your daughter, so we can see how are you going to react when it's on your own, when we are the one who's affected.
Yes, but Zayn, you're now not using logic, you're using your emotions. Cwecwe has just proven to you that you need 2 DNA to do a DNA test.
Mm-hmm.
So since you can understand what Cwecwe is saying, you can't then use that, or you can't say what you just said. Let's allow people to be emotional because now your daughter is great.
He's just giving me an example that the questions are okay, just that people, they will rather resort to feelings than to face the questions that we are asking. He's on the right track. Yeah, so do you see that the narrative of a DNA, from most people, it's foolish, Mr. Zayn?
Hey, bruh. Nah, I don't know, but that's hence I always.
Let's be factual. I guess you want people to be truthful. Be truthful as well. Do you see that most people are foolish when they want people to give DNA where they can compare it with any DNA?
With anything. Yeah, it's true. If the baby refuses to compare my DNA Where are you going to compare the DNA?
Exactly.
Hello everyone.
Hey.
Calm down, Iman. Calm down. You'll be given a chance.
Okay, can I please say something? Can I please
Calm
say
down.
something to correct you
No, we
guys?
still
Can I
have
please say something?
no, keep quiet. We'll give you a chance, okay? Relax. So, do you see then the DNA, Mr. Mr. Zain, that we should scrap it out because suddenly we were lied to that someone did take a DNA because it can't be since there is no DNA that it will be compared to. So, it's pointless to talk about DNA whereby there is no suspect and there was never any DNA that was discovered on Cwecwe. So let's not talk about DNA because we are just making people to laugh about us.
Can I please say something, Cwecwe?
Please respect me, Iman. Please.
Okay.
Continue, Zain.
Okay. No, but Cwecwe, remember they said the two, I don't know, the driver and the caretaker took the DNA test, right? Where did they compare their DNA test to? If the child, they did not find anything to compare the DNA of Cwecwe to.
Exactly.
If
It
there
means
was
that we were
nothing to
lied
compare the
to by,
DNA
we were
to,
lied to.
and those two who have presented their DNA test, where did they compare those DNA tests?
That's a valid question, meaning that it never happened. They lied to you.
They never did
Okay,
it.
can I please say something? Ne?
Iman, wait.
Kaloku ndibuzile kodwa koko
Yeah, but I still have to give you a chance to talk. Respect our time. We're gonna be given a chance. Right?
But Kaloku, you guys are spreading false things and it's getting to people's heads.
Yes,
So I'm just trying to correct you
we'll give
guys.
you time to talk.
They're waiting for their turn.
About truth,
But Koko, when you can talk, you can unmute your mic.
Yes.
Stop wasting our time. Okay, well, let's continue. So, Zain, do you now understand it?
No, I understood it, but I'm trying to understand other people. But because the problem is that we are trying to make certain people to understand. But when we ask this, when you guys are asking this question, it feels like you are unfair. You are insensitive. You don't feel feelings for the situation which have happened to Cwecwe's family and the mother and stuff. But when you ask such questions, people catch feelings.
Yeah. So look at point number 2. Emotional narratives overpower facts. This is what I learned in this case. Yeah. Fine. Thank you so much, my brother. Let's give it to another person who is Morolong. Morolong Papa, lekaina.
Brohona le ka morara.
Awaro man. Nare bolela re thutile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 factors for this case. 1, leadership by honor, especially on Tunu must step down as the Minister of Police. He is irresponsible. He nearly put another man's life in danger for his premature statements that are foolish. Yeah, so what have you learned, Mr. Morolong, on this case?
Yes. You know, and here's the thing, Bafune. For me, one thing that stood out again is that I once made this point, Uti, there was an uproar, like when the whole podcast thing came out and then people were marching left, right, and center. That why does a white man refuse to give his DNA and all of that, and people were politicizing it and then Afro Forum stood up and said, no, we are going to represent him and we are refusing. So I had to ask myself a question after I read Ugutu Senzo Mkhunu once is sending an apology to this man. I was like, okay, with his remarks, what if the country would have, you know, we could have had another strike and then things could have been, or everything Gabile south, you know, white people, or there will be clashes of races and all of that due to his immature remarks and statements at the beginning of everything. Mara, ntwe norki tutile yona is this. South Africans are a very emotional country, and they prioritize emotions over logic, over the truth. And even if there's truth in front of their eyes, they will never ever take it because it does not let me use the term loosely, let me use the term resonate with them. You know, they want ha go na le rape, ha go na le case ya grape, for instance, they wanted gore e be concluded that this person is guilty, this person is going to prison, finish and clear. We don't want to listen, we don't want to hear anything, even if facts are put before them. You know, and unfortunately, as sensitive as it is, that's where we are as a country. So I've learned quite a lot, man. Don't just be taken by the storm or the wave, and what people are trying to stir, and what people are trying to push, or the narrative that people are trying to ask serious questions. Calm down, be logic. Ask serious questions for better understanding. But yet again, in our country, when we ask serious questions, you will never ever get answers. People will answer you emotionally